When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment.
We arrested a former employee who was working at Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. She was arrested yesterday for several charges, including assault, indecent assault, as well as...
Gene Deal goes off on Oprah, Gayle King, and Diddy celebrity friends.
Rumor has it, Oprah, yes, the Oprah, was caught trying to flee the country by the BBC. But why? Let me break it down. It all started when Diddy, the music mogul, found himself in serious legal trouble after a recent arrest. Now everyone's asking, what's really going on here? Here's where it gets juicy. There's speculation about some kind of connection between Oprah and Diddy that no one saw coming. Business? Personal? Or maybe something even more scandalous? That's the million-dollar question. But hold on. This is just the beginning. The deeper you dig, the crazier it gets. You won't believe what else has come to light.
Against Diddy. And like I said, this brother either got some tapes, some dirt on them. I remember Diddy said something about, hey, if y'all really, like, for the ones who really rock with me, like, he was saying, like, I mean, really, really rock with me. I think what he said by that is, like, for the ones who really know what I be doing and know that you were there to witness it. And I know what you did too. It's crazy, man. Because like I said, where's everybody at? All the people that was at these parties, where y'all at now? Back on the Art of Dialogue channel. I'll leave in the description. We ain't gonna waste no more time, man. Shout out to all the good humans. Let's jump right into it. Let's see what he got to say.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. That's crazy, man. But why haven't any of Diddy friends spoke up for him?
My man, listen here. All those ones who made it to the Diddy party,
yeah,
to the after party, and to the hotel lobby.
After the party is the after party.
They not gonna ruin their brand.
Speak on it.
They not gonna say nothing. Man, I was watching the other day. Listen to me. They did that. They on Channel 2 News here in New York. Gayle King and Nate and that other guy, they were talking about. They showed the him beating Cassie, and they showed him the apology in the whole 9 yards. All they said is that we have commentary about that, but we got to go to a commercial. They never came back and said nothing about it. I was like, yo, damn. He still got power like that? Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew.
Yeah.
Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein. He was running with that whole crew.
And we know what Oprah said about Weinstein, you know, when all that stuff came out. So I'm trying to tell y'all, man, I know I've been covering a lot of these videos. I feel like that this is what's important right now, you know, because it's a lot of people who support a lot of these artists, these talk show hosts. I was doing it at one point, but it's when you find out information, man, you need to act on it. Whether it's not supporting them no more, I want to know everything I need to know. All right, because these people will have you fooled, man. They will have you fooled.
They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them.
Now, y'all might be wondering, what's landed Diddy in this mess? Hold on to your wigs, because what we've uncovered will leave your jaw on the floor. Picture this. Federal agents raiding Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami like it's straight out of an action movie. But honey, this isn't Hollywood fiction. It's real life, and it's messy. The word on the street? This isn't just about Diddy. It's a tangled web of A-listers caught in the crossfire. The accusations? Allegations of sex trafficking and drugs. I know what you're thinking, another celeb caught in a scandal? But trust me, this one's next level. Federal agents seized phones and computers from Diddy's properties. Just imagine the kind of secrets those devices might hold. You better believe there are some A-listers sweating bullets right now, praying their names don't come up. And Hollywood's reaction? A classic game of musical chairs, but instead of grabbing seats, everyone's running for the exits. Former friends are suddenly acting like they've got selective amnesia, pretending they've never even met Diddy. Is only the beginning, and the fallout is bound to be explosive. Buckle up, things are about to get wild.
I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here.
He ain't lying.
Get out of here with that.
That's what most of them are saying.
If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him. Because it would mess up their brand.
Yeah.
It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z. We the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff.
Yeah.
But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there, denounce what he did, or come forward and say, I support him.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Nobody haven't came out to support him, man. Not one person outside of Stevie J.
Yeah, Stevie J.
Stevie don't count, bro.
Again, like, you know, I wonder what people are going to say once all this cools down, whether it's him going to jail, him not going. I just wonder what people are going to say, because, you know, I know Oprah had so many people on her show dealing with, like, I got to choose my words carefully, man. YouTube be, boy, they be. But when it's dealing with men and women, you know, y'all know what I'm trying to say. The DV, you'll figure it out. The domestic stuff. She's had so many people on her channel talk about, her show talk about that. So it's like, but you already know with Oprah, with the whole Maui situation going on, that she got a lot of backlash for that. It's just, my whole thing is like, saying nothing is almost worse. Cause like, it's not like you gotta say, oh, I need to wait to see. You don't need to wait. Everybody in the world done seen that video. And it just goes to show that, I mean, you could even go like Chris Brown, that situation with him and Rihanna. You know, people still got him featured in their song. Like, people will, they'll forgive, but they won't forget. But at the same time, it's like, what is the real punishment? You know, you take your just average person and they gonna be locked up, right? So it goes to show you that You know, this dude is working with some powerful people who's probably keeping him out of jail to keep themselves out of jail. Yeah. But we already know how Oprah is. I'm glad this channel be talking about this stuff, man, because I feel like it's important.
But here's the gag. Not everyone's staying quiet. Some brave souls are speaking out, and what they're revealing is messy. Whispers of a secret underground network of shady dealings are circulating, with Diddy allegedly at the center. It's like pulling on a loose thread and watching an entire sweater unravel. And honey, this mess is hitting Diddy where it really hurts. His empire, from Ciroc vodka to Sean John clothing and Bad Boy Records, the lifestyle brand he's built is on shaky ground. Sponsors are reportedly side-eyeing their contracts, wondering if they need to jump ship before the whole thing sinks. But wait, it gets juicier. Remember when I said this wasn't just about Diddy? Turns out this situation might be connected to some other big names in the industry. We're talking about folks who've always kept squeaky clean public images but might be hiding some serious skeletons in their closets. Enter Oprah. Yep, the Oprah. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does Oprah have to do with all this? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The timing of her alleged attempt to flee the country while Diddy's drama unfolds is just too suspicious. Oprah's known for her Hollywood connections and her knack for knowing everything before anyone else. So, if she's trying to get out of Dodge, you've got to wonder, what does she know that we don't? And Oprah isn't the only one acting shady. A slew of other celebs have gone quiet on social media, canceled public appearances, or seemingly vanished. It's like a high-stakes game of hide and seek, and the stakes couldn't be higher. As for Diddy's future in the entertainment world, chilly. It's not looking good. Even if he manages to beat the charges, his reputation has taken a hit that might be impossible to recover from.
Charles, I mean, shocking is an understatement when you hear the details of this case. What are your thoughts after hearing the indictment yesterday?
Good morning, Brian and Natalie. I got to tell you, my thoughts reading the 14-page indictment yesterday were that there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call, because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them, and it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing a case here, because we're just getting started, and I don't see how this trial begins anytime before next year.
There are a lot of wild allegations in those documents that came out yesterday, including 1,000 bottles of baby oil. What surprised you the most about what you read yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that, Brian, was definitely an alarming graph of the indictment when you read that when they raided, I believe it was the Miami home, where they found 1,000 bottles of, and they said that these were items that were used at the freak-offs. There were also large amounts of drugs, they said, cocaine, ketamine, Molly, GHB, the rape drug. So, they said that the house, according to the feds, that was stocked for these parties that were going on. And then to read their description of how Diddy, as they say, lured women into joining these parties. And they say that he would meet them or lure them, get to know them, and lure them in, thinking they would think that there was going to be a romantic relationship with him. And then it would turn out that they would be at these freak-offs where they would be forced to have, or drugged and forced to have sex with male prostitutes that he was bringing in. And that's one of the counts that he's facing also, is the transportation of individuals for a purpose of prostitution. So really alarming allegations laid out in court. Diddy, of course, has pled not guilty to all of it. And then the real kicker for him at the end of the day was that the judge said you will be held without bail. And that means however long it takes for this trial to begin, he will be in a federal detention facility in Brooklyn, and not a very nice one. In fact, a fairly notorious one. So you got to figure it. He wants out of there, and he wants out as soon as possible.
While Diddy's world is falling apart, another media mogul is making some eyebrow-raising moves. Oprah Winfrey, yes, the Oprah, was allegedly spotted fleeing the country, and something about it just doesn't add up. Let me set the scene for you. Picture this. The BBC catches Oprah at the airport looking all kinds of nervous. She's rocking oversized sunglasses, trying to blend in with the crowd. But honey, let's be real. You can't hide that Oprah glow. The queen of talk is hustling through security like she's got somewhere urgent to be, and maybe a whole lot of explaining to do. Now here's the million-dollar question. What does Oprah have to do with Diddy's mess? The streets are buzzing and the whispers are getting louder. Oprah's been known for asking the tough questions, but now it's her turn to face them. Let's rewind for a moment. Oprah's been suspiciously low-key lately, canceling appearances, keeping her social media quieter than usual. It's almost as if she saw the storm brewing and decided to dip out before it hit. But why? That's the question on everyone's mind. Some are speculating that Oprah might have had some past business dealings with Diddy that she's not too proud of. You know how Hollywood works. Everyone's connected, and sometimes those connections come with strings attached. Could Oprah be tangled up in Diddy's alleged shady ventures? The mere thought is enough to make anyone clutch their pearls. Whatever's going on, one thing's for sure. Oprah's sudden moves and silence have added a whole new layer of mystery to this already wild drama. Stay tuned, because this tea is far from finished brewing.
We're in this era right now, Charles, of men with power falling from grace in Hollywood. And when I think about Harvey Weinstein, you know, that was an open secret in Hollywood for a very long time about what he was doing with victims. Was this also the case with P. Diddy, that the people kind of knew this was going on?
I will say this, there have always been whispers about his power. And how he wielded that power. But I can't say I heard any whispers about these freak-offs, and it's really alarming. You know, we were talking about it yesterday. One, these parties had a lot of individuals. In fact, the U.S. Attorney's Office says that the parties would sometimes go on for days. So there are a lot of individuals involved, and yet, and they say this has been going on for more than 10 years, and yet we didn't hear about that. So that means that all the people that were involved, according to the feds, that he managed to keep them all quiet, that nobody would speak about it. And that does sort of speak to the kind of power he wielded and the fear that people had of him. We're also talking about the fact that the beating of Cassie, which was captured on the hotel surveillance video, that was, 6 years ago. And alleged when nobody knew about it. Nobody heard about it. Think about all the people that were at the hotel who may have known about it, people who saw the surveillance video and never spoke about it. And like you said, we're in an era where when things like that happen, people speak out about it. So the fact that no one did, and that it only took this, really Cassie's lawsuit before any of this started coming out, it does kind of speak to the power that he wielded, and that the fact that nobody wanted to cross him.
And Charles, what do you think happens next in this case? Members of Sean Combs' family have been ordered to give up their passports. He's currently in jail. What do you think happens from here?
Well, his attorneys, the first thing that's going to happen is today, his attorneys are going back into court. They have appealed the bail ruling. And like I said, I'm sure he wants out, and that's their first job right now, is to get him out. They've offered a $50 million package for bail. That was rejected yesterday, but they're going to take another swing at it today. And then after that, what happens, look, he did surrender his passport to his lawyer. We should say the way his team put it out originally, they made it sound like he had turned it over to the authorities. He had turned over his passport back in April to his lawyer, as did his children and his mother. And their point was they wanted to make the case to the court that, look, we're cooperating here. He is not a flight risk. And they feel like the U.S. Attorney's Office undermined that by raiding his hotel on Monday night and arresting him when they say he was in New York because he was more than willing to surrender. In fact, the plan was for him to surrender on Tuesday, and then for some reason, the feds decided to arrest him Monday night. Diddy's attorneys think they did that so that it would look like he wasn't cooperating, and then the judge would deny him bail, which, as it turns out, is what happened.